Attention whore. Where W means the inelegant word. So I will call them AW in short. Who is AW? AW are people who will do anything for attention. I mean, they will act even against themselves, against their beliefs, against friends, against ideas. They will do it just to get attention on social media. Attention means impressions, means clicks, views, means comments. In short, it is profitable in terms of popularity and monetization. How do AWs work? AW create nothing. They are usually people whose content is based on other people's content. They are commenting on someone else's work. So, if nothing spectacular happens, they have a serious problem. There is nothing to talk about. Then, they need to create topics from nothing. But this is the margin of their actions. If a topic is very popular, arouses a lot of interest, and a stream of money flow around this topic, AW, although he doesn't care about this shit, he will put his paw in the stream of money to pull something out for himself. The problem is, there is too many of them. And obviously, more people comment on something positive in a positive way. So if you talk same shit, it's harder to notice you. Therefore, you have to stand out and talk about a positive things in negative way, or vice versa. This is how AW works. And I recall, W here means no scruples, no logic, no rational thinking. This shit must be emotional, that's all. This type of person's actions are profit oriented only. That's why it's so easy to expose these people. Which I did many times. For example, the Puddlegate and Spider-Man drama. Now let's get to the most anticipated game of this generation. I guess no one doubts that the second part of The Last of Us is damn huge. The interest in the new Naughty Dog game is gigantic. And around this topic flows a river of money, in which they have to put a paw. And as we noted earlier, the obvious superlatives will not draw attention to them. So they have to criticize. This was the case with every major PlayStation exclusive. By following news on the internet about The Last of Us Part 2, it's easy to see that every news about this game had its own drama.
Drama Part 1. I want to play as a dude.
The first drama began when Sony revealed that in The Last of Us 2 we will play as Ellie. The problem was that men with balls of steel can't play as a woman in the video game. The strange thing is that they were not afraid their balls would shrink when they played Tomb Raider. Probably because they still thought Tomb Raider is Xbox One exclusive. Of course, those who declared to boycott the game because they would have to play as Ellie explained that Joel was badass and they want to play as badass again. And of course they said it's not just about gender. But later they said that Ellie as a woman couldn't be as effective as Joel. These gentlemen, of course, lied to get some attention on the popularity of the game. Everyone who played the first part remembers that there was a chapter we played as Ellie. And although she wasn't as strong as Joel, she was as deadly as he was.
Drama Part 2. Stop the violence.
These things, combined with very realistic graphics, made the trailer memorable. Attention W's couldn't miss it. It was a great opportunity to pull out torches and start the hunt. It was also very easy to attract the attention of all opponents of games violence who could certainly pull this train. But Naughty Dog doesn't promote violence in this trailer. They are not using violence to promote their game. They used violence to show us our enemies. I remember when I was playing Metal Gear Solid 3, there was a scene. Snake was tortured and lost his eye. From that moment, I didn't play anymore just to finish another game. I continued to play with motivation. I wanted to take revenge on the bad guys. This is the mastery. Make the game evoke emotions. To know why we fight other people. Usually the game just shows us the enemy, and you have to kill him. Naughty Dog used such drastic scenes to show us who our enemies are, gives us real motivation to fight them. Naughty Dog showed brutal vision of the world after the apocalypse. It is also a very likely vision, and showing killing in such a way shows it is not a good fun, even in the game.
I woke up in the morning about 9:30, the hacks in the buggy stand.
Drama, Part 3. Ellie is a lesbian.
Take a little city to bury.
Yes, Ellie is a lesbian. We knew about it since Part 1 DLC. Nothing changed in Part 2. If that didn't bother you once, it shouldn't bother you now. I don't expect the newest Naughty Dog game is about being a gay. The trailers rather show the post-apocalyptic survival action game with a lot of brutality. But I can be wrong. After all, Neil Druckmann is strongly influenced by SJWs.
Drama, Part 4. 24 hours work time.
Another way to get attention is create topic with nothing. Good example was a drama with Naughty Dog employees complaining about overtime. Someone even wrote they had to work 24 hours a day, which is ridiculous. I am against exploiting people and forcing them to slave labor. After all, if you work 24 hours a day, you are a slave. You don't sleep, you don't have free time, you don't see children, wife, mistress, you don't poop. Just work. Pure slavery. Everyone who is responsible for such working conditions should be punished, even if it was Neil Druckmann himself. However, there are two problems with this drama. First, after an avalanche of articles, quarrels on the internet, videos on YouTube, nothing happened. There was no sentence, no one went to the labor court. Perhaps the gentlemen from Naughty Dog agreed to such conditions and were generously rewarded for their hard work. And again, another fake outrage. Do you remember what happened before the release of Red Dead Redemption 2? It was also a highly anticipated game. Similar articles appeared. And these were the same actions of attention W's. The stream of money was called Red Dead Redemption 2. Now it is called The Last of Us Part 2. The second problem with this drama is that even if employees were forced to slave labor and beaten with a whip, like on the bloody galley, why the fuck I should care? Of course, I can sympathize with them, just as I sympathize with Foxconn employees who produced PS4, Xbox One, and Switches. But when want to buy a product, I only care about quality. When buying music, I don't care about the private life of the musicians. The music is supposed to be good. I don't care that some guy didn't sleep at night to bake bread I eat for breakfast. I appreciate and respect this, but for me, for the consumer, the product is the most important, not the background. Dudes could have fallen dead during the production of this game, and the game could still be a crap. Or opposite, maybe this game was made by lazy motherfuckers, and the game is still awesome. So, we're assessing the game. The final product.
Drama, Part 5. Downgrade.
How many times has it been? How many times they tried to tell us that Sony's exclusive game has been downgraded? Each time, it turned out they were wrong. Sometimes, even the game turned out to be better than in the first trailers. So why are they still trying? Because, as I said at the beginning, the truth doesn't matter. These dramas arise only because Sony games arouse huge interest. Nobody cares that some Crackdown 3 has been massively downgraded. Nobody cares that Gears 5 doesn't look as good as it was announced.
Especially on Xbox One X.
Nobody cares on a mass scale. Everyone cares about Spider-Man, God of War, The Last of Us 2. These are titles arouse the interest of 100 million potential buyers. And interest of even bigger group of haters. Xbox fanboys. Nintendo fanatics. And of course, large group of petition creators. All of them want these games to flop. All of them are the audience of attention Ws. And AW must somehow profit from the huge popularity of these games. Unfortunately for them, the official news are short-lived things. They are like an explosion. Kaboom! Bang catches the attention of all social media, and its glow illuminates every media corner, even the darkness of Tardland. After a moment of noise, there is silence. And silence is something attention Ws hate. Then, AW have to create his own news again. However, as I mentioned before, AW are not a creative characters. That's why they take something from an existing pool. For example, the fictitious date of fake delay, or of course, fake downgrade. You don't need much effort to create material for a downgrade. You can create your own fakes. I explained how to do that in another video. Or use different quality screenshots, or use unfair comparison. The best screen from the first trailer versus the worst from the newest. Simple, right? And now you can start counting clicks, views, likes, shares and profits. And for everyone who is waiting for my opinion, I don't know if The Last of Us Part 2 has been downgraded. Published materials are not suitable for reliable analysis. I noticed that 2 or maybe 3 different Ellie models appear in Naughty Dog's materials. It is probably Ellie from different periods of time. What makes comparison even more difficult? Trailers have different environments and different lighting. The new trailer has a lot of environmental filters. The previous trailer didn't have that many environmental effects. So it seemed cleaner and sharper, and it was easier to see more little details. There is no evidence of an upgrade or evidence of a downgrade. Everyone who is currently shouting, downgrade, downgrade, is a liar, or a fanboy of another platform, or attention W, or all. Everything I've seen so far looks and moves phenomenally. You can see that Naughty Dog has made great progress, and no doubt, the game will be fantastic.
Drama, Part 6. No multiplayer.
Naughty Dog said, The Last of Us 2 will be the most ambitious and biggest game they've ever made. So, the playtime of the second game about the adventures of Ellie and Joel will definitely be longer than Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 definitely was bigger than the first part of The Last of Us game. Naughty Dog said, The Last of Us 2 is so big that it can't fit on a single Blu-ray disc. The game will be released onto discs. They also added that they focused on single player mode and online will not be a part of The Last of Us Part 2 box. At that moment I jumped for joy. Whenever I played Uncharted and The Last of Us games, I was asking myself why Naughty Dog is wasting time and resources on producing this mindless multiplayer mode instead of spending the same resources on making an extra chapter of a story mode. Finally, someone listened to me. I will get to Blu-ray discs filled in 100% with content I want. Single player mode. For me, and for most of gamers, that was a great news. More The Last of Us in The Last of Us game. But this wasn't a topic for gathering attention. Nobody cares what most people want, because the topic is not catchy. A minority is the best topic, and a minority is always the easiest to manipulate. And minorities are always shouting loudly. AW needed a drama, and they prepared information in this way that gamer felt robbed of some content. They managed to create the impression that we will get less content for the same money. They managed to reach gamers who liked multiplayer in the original Last of Us game and turned them into hamsters in the wheels of drama. Show must go on. Of course, there is nothing wrong with the fact that some people liked multiplayer in the first The Last of Us game. The problem is that some attention Ws used factions fans to build a fake outrage. Some AWs were so pathetic that their Twitter, YouTube channels, and probably even Instagrams and Snapchats were saturated with the one topic: the lack of bloody multiplayer in a single player game. Hectoliters of shit were poured onto Naughty Dog. Insulted, mocked, accused of various nonsense. AWs incited to boycott the game. They shouted that their non-existent pre-orders will be cancelled. They claimed they wouldn't buy game without multiplayer mode, and they waited only for multiplayer. And millions want this multiplayer. All this noise was created for clicks. Drama with the best developer in the world. Damn catchy, right? One clown said that he doesn't care about multiplayer. But now, he spent 4 hours of his life recording a video about the lack of multiplayer.
4 hours! 4 fucking hours!
Plus, many hours on other social media. Hours of building a drama that was supposed to bring a few clicks. If you try to argue with attention Ws, if you try to tell them, hey, Naughty Dog is doing exactly what I want more single player, and I don't care about multi, you immediately become a hater, fanboy, and corporate slave. Because you are defending bad and ugly Sony and their studio. Wild ponies criticize bad Sony decisions. If these decisions are bad, isn't it simple? But this is a good decision Naughty Dog is offering us, 2 times bigger game, at the highest world level, for the same price as Part 1. Damn, they selling us a game onto Blu-ray discs for the same price as Crackdown 3. Do you really feel robbed? It was also announced the multiplayer mode will appear in the future and will not be just an additional mode. It will be a huge online game with lot of content. I think this is a win-win scenario. If there are still people who declared they were waiting for The Last of Us Part 2 only for multiplayer, now they will not be forced to buy unnecessary single player mode. Right? People like me, who are waiting for The Last of Us Part 2 because they want to know the fate of Joel and Ellie, will also be pleased. We will get a bigger game than before, for the same price, with no forced multiplayer trash. What's next? Oh, yes. Killing dogs.
Drama, Part 7. Killing dogs.
Attention W's knew very well. People are more sensitive to the fate of furries than representatives of their own species. We love dogs and kittens, and we are sad when they are hurt. That's why it was a good idea for another drama. Oh my god. In the new The Last of Us, we will be forced to kill dogs. Scandal. This is disgusting. Sony forces poor players to murder innocent dogs. Fucking idiots. Dogs, cats, and teddy bears stop being so cute when they are trying to kill us and we have to defend ourselves. It is ridiculous that these things need to be explained. Killing dangerous animals has been in video games for a long time, and no one started drama because of that. What's the difference now? The Last of Us 2 is a Sony game, PlayStation exclusive, and audience is huge. What's next?
Drama, Part 8. The Last of Us Part 2, copied Red Dead Redemption 2, snowy theme.
Okay, this is the peak of nonsense. It's hard to imagine, but some of them spreading such nonsense. They also claim that even the tracks in the snow are copied from Red Dead 2. And I know it's ridiculous, but I'm going to show idiots. Many games before RDR, and before The Last of Us Part 2, use the snow theme, and many games had Hunt. It's fucking obvious. But let's play this game. When we compare The Last of Us to Red Dead Redemption, let's be honest. First, let's watch a short scene from Red Dead Redemption 2. And now, a similar scene from the first part of The Last of Us, released 4 years earlier than Red Dead Redemption 2. The conclusions are obvious. That was the last drama around The Last of Us Part 2. However, we can be sure that there will be more of them. There is plenty of time to release. And attention W's will need new topics. Damn it. It's not over yet. I forgot about this dude. David Alfonsi, head of the Eidos Montreal. He said on his Twitter that the animations in The Last of Us 2 gameplay were fake. It's embarrassing because Eidos Montreal is the studio which co-developed the reincarnation of Tomb Raider, which turned Tomb Raider into a clone of the Uncharted series. And they never reached the level of Naughty Dog. neither in terms of animation nor graphics. They are still in the PS3 era. Anyway, according to Mr. Alfonso, animations in The Last of Us Part 2 are scam. They are fake. Later, this idiot withdrew from these accusations because he realized that he was trying to jump higher than he can. He tried to fight against greatness. Why he said something like that without any proof? Because nobody heard about him until this tweet. Mr. Alfonso is another attention W and other attention Ws. Loved the idea to write something bad about the Naughty Dog, one of the best developers on the planet Earth.